Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So today me and my dad are previewing Southampton versus Newcastle, and we're also going to give you a little bit of an update on Newcastle transfer news. So let's get into the video. So Dad, Newcastle taking on Southampton at St Mary's in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. It's such a huge chance to get to the final. I think, it's one of the best chances we've ever had to get to a final. So it'll be interesting to see what lineup he goes for. I don't think he will start Wilson. I think Isaac will start. I think Bruno will start. I think he will go with a similar team that he did against Crystal Palace, except from Isaac into the team. Now Southampton, they have just not been doing very good at the minute. They brought in, who's he called? Nathan Jones.
But they did beat Man City.
They did beat Man City, but you could say that was their B team. So I think it's key for us not to underestimate Southampton. Although they aren't doing well in the Premier League, they have just beaten Man City, and Man City are a very good side. So, some people are acting like we're already in the final. Got some people asking us saying, you're going to Wembley, but we're not even there yet. So don't just assume, that we're there when we've got to take on Southampton first. Now for me, just get one or two goals will be key to just taking it to St James's Park. I would actually be happy if it finished a draw, take it to St James's Park and then win the game. So for this game, I think it's going to be 1-0 to Newcastle, and I'm going to say Isaac with the goals.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see what his lineup will be. I think the important thing is, one important point to point out is that we don't have a game at the weekend. So we've got a full week for recovery for the players. So that might influence his decision. And he may go with the same team that played against Fulham, because he tends to stick with these same teams. We dominated that game, but we just couldn't score. So will he consider starting Maxi, or will he consider starting Isaac, like you've said? I don't know, but I think it's a game that he'll go out to try and win. I don't think he'll play for a draw. If you saw his press conference today about pre-match press conference.
No, I wasn't saying he would play for a draw. I just thought I would take a draw. And then back to.
But I'm just saying Eddie Howe will play for the win, and I think another good point is with the second leg is back at St James's Park with a full house under the lights, fantastic atmosphere. So I think whatever happens down at St Mary's, obviously having that second leg at our place is really important. I expect us to get at least a draw tomorrow. It'll be a tough game, but I'm wanting to win, and I want us to win the second game obviously and get through. But I would accept a draw now, but I think we can win the game tomorrow.
Yeah, and one player that looked great for Southampton against Man City was Ward-Prowse. He was brilliant and will certainly be someone who Newcastle will be wary of. Of course, he's fantastic at free kicks, but we've got Nick Pope in goal, so I'm sure we won't have to worry too much about conceding goals. But I don't think we should underestimate Southampton. We thought we were going to beat Sheffield Wednesday, and look what turned out to happen in that game. So
I think Southampton, like you say, Ward-Prowse is really good on set pieces. He can create goals as well.
We've got quite a few injuries, I think, as well.
But another player who, I think he was on the bench, and did he come on, is Gineppo. He's really fast and direct.
He's a decent
he's dangerous player, so that's someone we need to be aware of. But, I do expect us to win the game.
Now on to some of the transfer news. So now there's this player who you guys will probably know called Anthony Gordon. He plays for Everton. Now, Newcastle have said to inquired for him. Now, I don't know if you guys will know this. You probably will by now, but Frank Lampard has been sacked. So will this affect Newcastle's pursuing him? Depends if their new manager who comes in wants to keep him at the club or not. But personally for me, I don't think this is a transfer I would want to happen. He is a decent player, but he hasn't had a very good season, and I think he's got a bit of an attitude. So for me, I don't think we should go anywhere near this. But again, I'm not Dan Ashworth or Eddie Howe, so I'm sure they've got a better judgment than me. And also, in my last a couple of days ago in my other video, I talked about how Fabrizio Romano said that would bid 16 million for Matthias França, the 18-year-old Brazilian forward from Flamengo. Now, he said we'll bid 16 million, and apparently that has been rejected, with Flamengo wanting 20 million instead. So I think, Dad, that if Newcastle really want the player, we will pay that, because 20 million is not a lot of money at all. So if we really do want the player, we will go out and get him. But I've seen some fans recently on social media getting quite frustrated that we haven't signed anyone yet. But I just think, be patient. I think we will sign players. The club, like Eddie Howe said, are still actively trying to get to bring in players in the market. So I just think you've got to be patient. Now, this guy certainly does look like he will be a good player. I think he'll come in straight into the squad instead of going out on loan. So yeah,
I've had a look at some YouTube clips of him, Matthias França, and he's a really good player. He's young, but he can move the ball really quickly with his feet, and he's very direct and strong. He's more of a midfielder than a forward, but he's a real prospect. And Tim Vickery, the South American football expert, he's a journalist. He really rates him as well, and he knows his stuff about South American football. Yeah. So it would be an exciting signing for Newcastle. Now, in regards to Gordon, I think he's got lots of ability, and I've said this before, he's direct and he's sort of a bit of a rough, raw talent. He still needs to work on stuff. Yeah. But a lot of Everton fans have come out today and said they would drive him to Newcastle. So he's gone from hero to zero to them, because he was last year, and they when they were fighting relegation, Lampard came in. He did really well for them. But now he's had a few attitude problems, I think, and he's not playing regular for Everton. So does Howe and Ashworth think they can get the best out of him? Who knows? But we'll just have to wait and watch.
Now, I just want to ask you, if you were Eddie Howe, would you want to get Gordon?
It's a difficult question. I think he's got a lot of ability, but personally, my opinion, I wouldn't go out and get him. I wouldn't go out and get him. What is interesting is Everton have just got Dan Juma from Villarreal. He's going to complete a loan deal there in the next 48 hours. Very good player. So that signal, once he comes in, that Gordon can go out. But that's just a loan deal at the end of the season. Now, obviously, things have changed. Dan Juma would be thinking Lampard's going to be the manager, and he's gone now. But that deal's still going to go through.
So it'll be interesting to see whether we do go for Gordon, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with França. So I want you guys to comment down below. Do you want Gordon? Do you want França? Certainly França, but I'm not too sure about Gordon, so I'll be interested to see you guys' comments. Now, also comment down below, do you think Newcastle can get to the final? Now, do you think we can get to the final? It's definitely possible.
I think it is possible, and I don't want to tempt fate, but I think we've got a really good chance, and it would be great for all the fans. Really good for all the fans for us to get to a final. The fans deserve it. The players and team deserve it, and Eddie Howe do. So I just hope they can do themselves justice over 2 legs and get the win that we need to get us to Wembley.
Yeah, so I just also have got a bit more transfer news for you now. We've been linked over the past few days to this player called Stefan de Vrij. Now, he is a centre-back who plays for Inter Milan. His contract expires in the summer. Now, personally, I would take this with a pinch of salt, because the sources that have been coming out and saying this aren't very reliable, in my opinion. But he is, I think he's
30-year-old as well.
Very tall. I think he's like 6 foot something.
He's a Dutch player,
He's very strong, similar to Botman in a sort of way. But I also want you to comment down below, would you like him? And hopefully we can beat Southampton tomorrow.
Another one about Ivan Fresneda, the Real Valladolid player he's a young lad, he's only 18. He's been linked with Newcastle and Arsenal, and his agent's coming back to the UK this week to discuss. Arsenal are front of the queue apparently. Looks like we're not going to sign him, but he probably will go back on loan to the end of the season until so he can play football from Valladolid. So looks like Newcastle are going to miss out on that one at the moment.
Yeah, it's if we do end up missing out on him, that'll be a shame, because he would be a good long-term replacement for Kieran Trippier, because as you know, he's not going to be our right back for quite a few more years. So he would be a fantastic long-term replacement. Now I think Arsenal definitely does suit the player, but hopefully we can try and get him to come to the club. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching our Newcastle versus Southampton preview, plus a bit of transfer news for you guys. Now make sure to subscribe. Let's try and get 400 subscribers as quick as possible. And also just make sure to comment down below your thoughts on whether we can get to the final. So guys, see ya tomorrow. Bye.